full paycheck, he also would never have been discovered because he'd have been gone for over a year before the administrator would have even thought to ask. Is that right?
That is 100% correct, Mr. Chairman.
So is that the old pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered? I guess we should be happy he was that greedy. We now go to the gentleman from Utah, Mr. Chaffetz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate it. Mr. Persepi, I hope I pronounced your name properly. When did you say there was some?
Just pretend there's an H after the C.
Thank you. Okay. When did you? You said that the first time you had heard about it, there was some scuttle or some discussion with senior administrators that about Mr. Beal. When did that happen?
Sometime in 2012, the idea of trying to find out what the real arrangements were here.
So can you give, I mean, 2012 is the beginning of the year, spring, beginning of the year, fall?
It wasn't at either end, so it must have been somewhere in the middle. But
so somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, probably when?
I was going to say I could probably say that it was probably more than the middle of the year, but I don't really know.
Okay, so June, July-ish type, is that fair? Okay, middle of the year. And Ms. McCarthy was aware of that as well? Gina McCarthy was aware of that as well?
The conversation was about whether or not we should proceed with trying to figure out, not whether or not, but that she was going to proceed, and I encouraged it to proceed to find out what was going on.
So it's the middle of 2012. You encourage her to proceed to figure out whether or not this is accurate.
I was agreeing with her.
You were agreeing with her. Now go back, if we can put up slide 4D, the date on this is March of 2011. I'll do a little pullout here. This is from Mr. Beal to Gina McCarthy. You mentioned the and so he's sending this note back to her via email. You mentioned the meeting you have with Intel, et cetera, tomorrow. Do you want to see if I can break away from Langley to attend that meeting with you? I'm not sure, but I'll try if you want. So it's out there. He's perpetuating this myth that he's at the CIA. By mid-2012, Gina McCarthy knows about it. He directly reports to Gina McCarthy. You're encouraging Gina McCarthy to pursue this, but it's not until spring or until late winter. It's in the January or February, March timeframe of 2013 that she actually inquires about this, and the IG is telling us they figured it out in a week. I don't understand, and again, Mr. Chairman, this is why I think we need Gina McCarthy here, why it took her 8 months at least, if not more. It looks like she had known about this for a couple of years. It's her direct report. And remember, Mr. Chairman, during this time, he's never even showing up to work. The guy didn't show up for years, not a single day. And he's being paid at a pay level above and beyond what's allowed by statute. I think she has at least some responsibility and some questions to answer. Now, my time's short, I'm sorry. Mr. Brenner, what was the purchase, when you bought the home with Mr. Beal back in the early 80s, what was the purchase price? Can you please put the microphone on? You'd think he'd have that by now.
I'm sorry, I don't remember the purchase price of the home.
Come on. You don't have any clue what the purchase price of that home was. What was the selling price of that home?
And I don't remember the selling price, but it was.
When did you sell that? When did you sell that home?
What I remember is it was done at market values. Mr. Beal purchased my share of the house.
How much?
In the late 1990s.
How much did he pay you for that house?
He paid me somewhere on the order of $30,000 or $40,000.
So your original purchase price, you have no idea what, and you don't know what the sell price is. But he wrote you a check for $30,000 or $40,000. When did you get that $30,000 or $40,000?
I'm sorry, I misunderstood your question. You asked about the price of the house. The portion that I put into the purchase of the house was somewhere around $10,000 in 1983 or 4, somewhere in there. And then when Mr. Beal decided to purchase my share of the house, it was for a number like $30,000 or $40,000 about 14 years later.
So you get $30,000 or $40,000 from this person. Are you still friends?
We are.
When's the last time you saw him, besides today?
I've seen Mr. Beal periodically over the last, well, actually, I've seen him a lot over the last 2 weeks, because when he left the hospital after his throat problems, because he had rented out his house in Arlington, he's staying in my guest room now.
Mr. Chairman, this is just an unbelievable story. I yield back.
I thank the gentleman.